Hey everybody, welcome back to Midwest Marksman. Today I'm going to be talking about this dot right here sent out to the channel by Gritr Gear. Really nice enclosed red dot. I've already got it set up on a Smith & Wesson Shield. This happens to be the Shield Plus. It's got that kind of newer trigger on it. I'm a really big fan of running red dots. It's something that I think most people are going to appreciate if they can get themselves into it. If you can get past shooting iron sights and move into modern optics, there's a lot of advantages to be had with this if you're willing to put in time and practice and train behind it. Then you'll see those. Some of the things you'll notice right away about this red dot is, yes, it's enclosed. That's a huge thing. Look at the snow around me. When you drop this or when it's snowing, it's precipitating out. That can get inside your emitter if you have an open emitter system. With these enclosed dots, they're generally a little tougher because of the housing. They also resist more of the elements that are going to be around. And this one has kind of a cool hood on the front. I'm just going to bend it this way so you can see. There is a hood to this for racking it against things, whether you do it or not, whatever. But it's there, and it's somewhat of an impact resistant form and design. You can see that the anti-glare coatings, actually you can see it pretty good right now. There's a really nice set of anti-glare coatings on this. Good pane of hard, if it's either glass or plexiglass, I'm not an expert in that. You have your controls on the other side, up, down, and off, which is going to be your minus button on that. It gets plenty bright, and on top of that you have some rear sights built into it. Let me come a little closer so you can see that. There are rear sights built into it. I didn't lose my rear sight, so I can retain that. But if you did lose your rear sight with some sort of RMSc style mount, then you have something there, some nubs, just in case your battery were to die on you. I don't think that's going to happen because these are really long-lasting batteries nowadays. They last forever. And this 3 MOA dot does not draw a huge amount of power. It's actually pretty reasonable, and the amount of power drawn to emit that dot, even when it's bright, it can last a long time. That's been my experience so far. With your RD1EC, inside the box, it comes well packaged. You're going to get some extra hardware, depending on what you're trying to mount it against. Make sure that you get not only the proper depth, but also the proper thread pitch. That's something to go carefully with, test it out, and then if you're going to put a drop of Loctite on it, a little bit of blue, never do red. This is awesome. It comes with a claw mount, a Picatinny claw mount. RMSc claw mounts are more useful than you'd think, especially if you like to run piggyback like I do on precision rifles. So here's your manual, a little bit more of that hardware, and then of course you get a lens cleaning cloth and some extra screws just in case you were to lose the battery housing screw. I believe that's what you have on top of that. Let me pull out the pistol one more time. So you have on top your, sorry, I can't even feel my hands, it's so cold. You have on top those mounting screws that mount directly to the slide. If you've never used a red dot, that's how that works. And then on this side, that is your battery compartment. And I believe these run on 16 series batteries. Oh, it's written right there, 1620. Okay, this is stupid proof. You can be dumb, and as long as you can read, it's gonna help you out. So 1620 for the battery. That's kind of like the new modern battery for RMSc style optics. They just last a lot longer, and I like them better personally because they're so small and they still put out a lot of power and last a long time. Keeps the footprint down smaller, and it's easy to access. It's a side compartment access. You don't have to take your dot off and lose your zero potentially. Now, I can't give you a very long-term review of this with integrity because I haven't had it that long. I've had about 200 rounds on it just today. I had a nice box of ammo. The sun is just about going down, and a friend and I were just shooting a little bit back and forth. He took off. I finished my last few MIGs here, and about 200 rounds gives me some ideas about the performance of the optic with the pistol and maybe the construction to some degree, but it doesn't give me a long-term review, so I just want to be honest about that. I'll have to follow up with that in the future. So far, I'm going to be talking about fit, finish, and probably the actual dot. What does it look like? Is it clean? Does it bloom? Does it seem like it has any defect in it? And so far, my answer to that would be no. It seems to be very clean, high-quality red dot. In fact, a dot like this, my opinion would be a dot like this normally would be somewhere in the like $300 to $400 price point in the last few months, and looking at the price point they're going to let this go at, it's a very reasonable price, and actually it's probably a lot better than some of the competition. So I'm wearing a lot of tight layers right now, and I know you can't see it super well, but it's really nice to be able to have on a tighter sweater and have an optic that really doesn't catch on anything. It's actually quite well rounded, and it's a smooth shooting pistol, I think, for a subcompact. I'm not having a lot of trouble finding that dot at all, though. The window is big enough. It's nice, clean. It's a real clean dot. It doesn't feel like it's blooming or anything. Now, that being said, I'm not going to focus on the dot. I'm going to try to focus on the target, especially with a defensive pistol. I do not want to train myself to focus on the dot. I'm not using this for precision, and it's not like focusing on a reticle in a rifle. It's going to be more target focus and let that dot just subconsciously overlay. At least that's what people who are better shooters than I always want to remind folks about. So I'll mention the same thing because it works for me. So keeping all my shots at that cadence at 15 yards, go back to 15 yards sometime and do this on a hand-sized target. That's a 5.5-inch target. All my shots stay right in there, and that's with a subcompact at about that cadence. Not too bad, and I can do it with that red dot. Okay, I know there's better shooters out there. I'm not claiming to be like the greatest shooter. I'm just saying if average guys can keep them all in here because the dot is nice and crisp and clear, it does what it's supposed to, the window's big enough, it's comfortable, it's repeatable. Okay, so at 15 yards, I'm very happy with that for a defensive pistol shooting at the cadence that I was at. Yes, I can slow down and do a nice tight group. Probably all in this first, or it's like second ring here. I could probably do that, but that's not what my focus is with this pistol or this dot. I want to know, can I keep a cadence inside of, about a target that big? And, yep. Yeah, that's not too bad. So, do I trust the pistol? Yes, absolutely. I really trust this pistol. I've had very good performance. I've seen very good performance, rather, from the M&P Shield Plus. I love it. Like that trigger quite a bit more than a lot of the others. And do I trust the optic? Yes, I do. It's on my personal defensive pistol. You can see that this is not just like a review gun for me. This is actually my personal carry pistol. I would not leave it on here if I thought there was a defect or something really problematic. I would move it on or just, relegate it to competition or some sort of hunting gun or a piggyback, something like that. I actually trust this. The price point is good, but it is a high quality optic. I think it's been engineered and designed pretty well. I like the feature sets. I like the design. I'm going to give one nitpick here. So get ready for it. Here it is. One nitpick would be on pistols where you lose your rear sight, your adjustable rear sight. If you lose that altogether when your base plate comes off for the RMSc pattern, these nubs in the back, they're just a little small, just a touch small. I would like them to be like 1/8 inch taller, perhaps. And I know that's a nitpick, but I just want it to line up a little better with the irons that you're going to have on a lot of pistols. So that might be just too nitpicky for some people, but it's an idea anyways. It's really not the point, though, because the reason I'm putting it on there is because I like the dot. It's a good functional dot. It's very bright. I like the modern battery. The footprint is, my preference. When I was actually zeroing it, it seems to be quite tactile. I like that I can hear and feel the clicks and that it adjusts appropriately. These are getting dang near repeatable, actually, for clicks. It's almost like a rifle turret, a rifle optic turret. It's just really impressive that they're close to what you should expect per click. So typically in the past, they're spongy, you couldn't feel them with old optics, and you might adjust a little bit and suddenly it moves a lot after you shoot. It's like a little settling down that used to happen with old pistol optics, and not anymore. It seems like they're actually quite repeatable. So it's a good design. Like I said, you can find this at Gritr Gear. I have more videos coming on Gritr Gear stuff very soon, and I've already had some videos. If you like this video, go ahead and watch one of these. Otherwise, stay tuned because I have lots of SHOT Show content coming up really soon.